a marathon this has been. I've been putting it off specifically because I knew it would be a long old job, but my Vorwerk VK135 or Kobold 135, Filetto 135, whatever they called themselves on the day of the week, they made this one. It's done, and we have a lot to get through in today's video. Crikey. So let's have a look at how my Vorwerk has come out. I have many questions to ask you, my lovely viewers, because there's some things I'm still not flipping sure about, and there is zero information out there at all on these things, bar what I've made up in my head. So let's have a look at my very comprehensive home cleaning system, check how it works now, and yeah, show you what we've got. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner or Vorwerk today chums. How are you today? Yes, this thing is finally done. Big thank you to Mr. James really for at least making this possible, because as you know I bought a broken one which came with most of the tools, and then Mr. James gave me a working one which came with most of its tools. So we have quite a lot to get through today. We're going to start by actually putting aside all of the extra little fluffy periphery bits that don't immediately needed for dry vacuuming, and we shall concentrate on the machine itself. Now this model is from 2007. It's pretty much identical to the other ones that look like this. I'm sure there were differences, but I don't fully know what they were. But yes, I've been using this actually for been a week or so since it's been finished, and I've been using it because it is lovely to use. Now we'll take off the cable first of all. This cable is amazingly an original Vorwerk Flex. I say amazingly because they have a habit of snapping pretty much there when they go into the machine. You see the whole thing, you can move the handle up and down, which is very nice, and the cable, you can take it off, look, and the cable slides up and down and sort of comes out there. When I've been putting it away, I've been leaving a loop and then winding it on, just because I don't want it to snap. You can take the cable off as well if you, by removing the handle. Not really any need to remove the handle in one of these, but you sort of can. I think if you put it in the caddy, or indeed for holding it as a shoulder strap. But yeah, there's many reasons to remove the handle, isn't there? This is where the plug goes in. I've heard many stories about people getting dead ones of these, when in reality the cable has just come slightly adrift. Bet that's a bargain and a half. So yes, we now are down to this part. Let us take off by using the fancy thumb handle there, which is basically just connected to this and just sits there, runs all the way down the machine. We can look at the main suction unit itself, which is okay really. You might have noticed the post motor filter is not fitted, and cannot help but think, look, here's a little peek of the inside, cannot help but think that it does kill the airflow a great deal. Yeah, I'm not entirely happy with it when it's fitted. We'll fit it for now, but I have been using it without because, quite honestly, it's not that bad anyway. So we'll put it back in just for completeness sake. Got to line up the little tab. All sort of snaps in very, very fitly. I've heard a lot of anecdotal evidence from many collectors, including a few who used to be Vorwerk distributors, that these just weren't very good, especially compared to the older ones. And I'm sort of inclined to agree in terms of build quality and general stuff, but they are so lovely to use. It's almost willing to forgive it. If we open up here we can see the bag compartment itself, which has a very fancy carbon micro fleece bag, which has some dirt in it because, like I say, I've been using it, and actually saying it has some dirt in it, I've been using it. Look at the state of that. I just noticed there's something's not quite sealing 100% correctly. That's mildly annoying. Not quite sure what its problem is. Not quite sure I care that much. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit annoying, but I'm not allergic to dust, so it doesn't really matter. We have the pre-motor filter here, which is enormously difficult to get out. You have to almost pick the sides of it. There we go, showing our little motor there, little 900 watt motor in these, which for the power it has, you know, for the suction it gives, is pretty good. I'm wondering if I've maybe put this rubber seal back in incorrectly. So we're going to pull it out a little bit and push it in, but not all the way, and hopefully the bag will sandwich it down straight. Maybe I've pushed it down a little bit more. You can also see the bag full indicator. It actually goes orange and then goes to green when, oh, sorry Phoenix, when it fills up. You'll see when we turn it on, it will shoot back to yellow now, and then it's supposed to it's just a piston grip indicator really, nothing more, nothing less. In this configuration, this is the on-off switch anyway, and it moves here, that you can turn it on and off, but when the handle's fitted it doesn't work very well, because the handle, I don't know if you'll see it, but inside there it twists basically. It locks onto that little bit of plastic floating around in there, and then when you move the handle it just moves that wheel there really, and yeah, this is then quite almost impossible to move when the handle is fitted. So that's that, and then we have my EB351. Now this is, again, you'll see in a minute with the other two, this is the head from, I think this is from 2005, so it doesn't fully go with this machine, but it has a little party trick in that when you push the button it has a brush roll on off. Oh my goodness, look at that. Gave a good going over upstairs look, and yes, this is from the era, I don't think they do it nowadays, but it's certainly from the era where it gets a little bit fiddly. Yeah, we have a very fancy rear rubber seal and front brushes for combination floors really. Have the little blockage channel there, and this on its basic level is an upright dry vacuum cleaner, which we can use to do some upright dry vacuuming. We have our 3-speed settings. We'll do this all on setting number 1. Once I turn on the plug. Oh gosh, it is turned on. There we go, look. That was... I hadn't plugged the cable in properly. That's how important it is. Yeah, setting 1. Very little motor power. Sort of doesn't really do a lot on setting 1, but setting 2, oh, that was setting 3. You're setting 2. Actually quite as great as I thought it would be. It didn't pick up hardly anything on the forward pass. It was only on the backwards pass that we got some good suction, which is odd really, because you put it on. Oh, even number 1, there's some. Flipped it off. Very, you can sort of do it, but yeah, you need to use that. I think these heads are good, but they are showing their age. Although in normal use, it does really groom very, very well. So this is its most basic form, really. The old upright dry vacuum cleaner. But you'll notice that, thanks to Mr. James, I have 3 heads. Yes, 3. This one is the one with the front brushes. These don't have that. We have another EB351. This one is from 2007. I think actually matches. You have to check the dates here, folks. Sorry. No, 2005. So that one does match it. So yes, we have this from 2007. This has nothing. Literally no brushes. You can't even turn it on and off. It should turn off with a little switch that sits on that neck there. However, I think it's this one. It is broken and I can't find a replacement. Not that it matters too much. So I think this is the head that just stays on permanently. Yeah, that should be off now. But yeah, the little switch is broken. I managed to rip the wires off of the solder joint. I say rip, they fell off really. It's a shame because it's very, 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 very clean under there. Certainly much cleaner than the other one. And then we have the EB350. This one is actually from 1998. You can date them the same way as the pneumatic look. So 9806 is there. And yeah, this one's seen a fair bit of use. The screws are quite rusty, but you can turn the brush roll on and off on this one as well. So note the little light. That light's supposed to come on when it's jammed and it turns itself off. Can't work out, I think I must have put it together incorrectly because, but then again, everything only fits on one way, so I'm not entirely sure why that light's decided to come on when it is on, but equally it's not really a deal breaker because as much as these heads are nice, I do like the one where the brushes go down just because it's fancy. But this is my first initial problem with flipping Vorwerk, is that these are identical heads. They've got a lot of the internals are identical, yet they're very, very different and they all do slightly different things. And we actually need to keep one of these ones for reasons which we will look at later. So that is the carpet cleaning heads. 1, 2 and 3. But we also have a brand new, never used Pullylux, I think they're called, or the hard floor cleaner, which is here. I have a full bottle of Kobold, although we're not going to use that on my laminate. This is for stone and tile, and it's waxy as well, and obviously I don't want to go making my floor all slippery, but I have also used this head, in fact with these brushes on it, for dry hard floor vacuuming, which I've not done before. I've been waiting to have this refurbished in order to try this out. So you can get rid of the rug to go to pure hard floor. And yeah, in the continent, I know a lot of people commented on this last time, this is pretty much how they're set up permanently, because people have just hard floor. So you can do your vacuuming. I think it vacuums. Yeah, I can feel something. This floor is quite clean. We'll knock the motor down. it's not doing a great deal for my floors because A, it's dry, I mean you're supposed to splaff a load of this down, which I'm not going to do because it's brand new, man, and I've got no real reason to use it either, so I'm not going to really. You can change, I think somehow, there we go. You can swap out these brushes for, well, on the bottom look there's some very stiff scrubby brushes. Here we have some sort of stiff inner, soft outer, and then scrubby pads, which will be for really cleaning tile and hard floor, and I don't need to use any of it, so I'm not going to get this dirty just for the sake of a demo that's probably going to ruin my floor, and I'm going to have to clean all this off anyway because just not going to use it. It's on wax, and I'm sure it's a lovely wax emulsion for stone and tile, but for this it is no good. I can't actually remember now how this goes on. I forgot where that yellow bit goes. I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. So this is rather boringly going back in its box just because I've got no real reason to keep it out, but we know it works now. I don't think I've actually tested it out before. And then we'll start the big long task of looking at the cleaning tools that go with this home cleaning system. Now, this is where I'm not going to say I don't like these. Vorwerk and Kirby are notorious for having bajillions and bajillions of tools, and whilst I'm sure a lot of people like them, I don't fully see the point. It's cool when you piece an entire set together for £14.50 and a half-eaten Twix, but when you're paying £1,500 for what is a vacuum cleaner with an absolute buttload of tools that you're probably never going to use, don't fully know. So I'll get that out of the way now because obviously this is very exciting and cool, but yeah, my thoughts are I'm not a massive fan of this. I cannot lie because it gets very overwhelming. Crikey. What have we got here? Well, first we have a mixture of pattern and genuine bags. Not sure if I think there's a pattern one fitted in here now. That might be why the seal isn't fab, but equally I don't care too much. So we have a nice amount of bags there. What else do we have? Well, shouldn't have put the flipping rug down, should I? We could have tested this. We have the hard floor tool, which, if you remember from the before video, was absolutely disgusting. I have cleaned it now, and it is lovely. It's quite nice because when you hit something with it, it is. I think this is probably the first of this design. I think it's pretty standard now, but you can manoeuvre it about, and it's mainly thanks to this spring look. When you turn it, it does that really. It's very, very simple. Yes, it is very, very nice indeed. If you have just hard floors, I can see you using this a lot. We've even got the little blockage removal port, which again I think is pretty standard nowadays. There as well, we have the Polster Boy, something like that, upholstery boy tool, which was disgusting underneath. It's still a bit disgusting, but not quite as bad. And yeah, it all comes off there. The brushes sit in this little cassette and are driven from here. Where to start? Let's start on this side where we have the radiator brush, which, if it's anything like AEG, and thank you very much Matt for telling me this, it's more meant for German bigger radiators. These don't even fit behind my radiators, let alone down the back of them. We have the upholstery tool there. We have one of the dusting brushes here. And that's one compartment empty. Next, we have, it's already starting to fall off. With its falling off rubber seal, I'm not going to use this because I don't drill holes in my wall. That is a DIY dust catcher. You stick it to your wall with that black gasket and the suction power holds it and you can drill your hole there. Sure, that's very handy for the right person. We have a wall brush, or possibly a hard floor brush, but I think it's more meant for walls and ceilings. We have, and I think this does go with this model, the carry strap. So the idea being, when you, and again I've found this out with the VK121, whatever it is that I've got. You take your handle off, then, oh, it's all twisted as well. Why are you all twisted? You've literally never been used. Ah, there we go, untwisted. Somewhere, here's one, I think. And then, there's the other one. Here's the other one. You can then strap it to the side like a... Ooh, sorry, the bird landed on my phone and took a screenshot, and at some point it cut the video off. Yes, you have the shoulder strap to make a very fetching, suctiony man bag, and I think it only goes on one way, and then yeah, that's how you use the tools, and that's what this is for. So you can turn the thing on when it is on your shoulder. So there's that. And again, take it off. You just unhook it from there. Ooh, what else is in here? Ah, this is very nice actually. We have, and again I think this is the first era that this was introduced. Again, it's standard nowadays. The adjustable, mine doesn't seem to match too well, but equally doesn't matter. The very flopsy wopsy dusting brush, which isn't actually that great because the brushes are so soft, it doesn't really get the dust at all. In fact, it doesn't really contact anything. It's a bit of a con, but very nice. It's nice about there, where it's stiff enough to actually do something, but, you know, progressive enough to not damage anything. So there's that. Ooh, boing, boing, boing. What have we here? We have the normal Vorwerk extension wand with a pivoting end on this side. It is very nice to use actually. The whole thing manoeuvres into whatever angle you want. So if you're dusting up high, you can, if you get the right end, what? Because that's not the right dusting brush for the, more on that in a minute. You can put your tools on, and yeah, if you want to go up high, you can. Probably not the best tool to use, but you get the idea. We have the crevice tool, which on the face of it is that. It's pretty good, but it also bends. It's quite nice really. I've not used it in anger, but it's there. And then this bit, quite badly I suppose, comes out and extends, and this is where you can stick your radiator brush. And this has to be used with this horrible nozzle that pretty much kills all the suction because it's so flipping small and narrow. But yes, that is the crevice tool. And then last but not least, the actual important bits that, you know, make this stuff fit onto here. Although it does actually fit on. Look, you could, if you were really silly, use it like this. But you don't want to do that, you want to use a hose. And I have two hoses here because obviously Mr. James gave me two toolkits. And already looking at my viewfinder, I can see what I'm about to say. The colour difference, because yes, they did change the colour. This hose is, I think, the original hose for this machine. It goes on there and then it's got, look, the carrying strap built in. So you can have your vacuum cleaner once I move the cable around, knocking the glasses off, like so, and then it's not too bad. It's a bit back heavy, but yeah, you can put all your tools on like so. And I washed this bag and look at it. I haven't done anything else with it. So this is the hose for this actual era of machine. And then the shoulder strap, actually quite cleverly, look, rolls back up. into there, which is a very nice way of storing it indeed, I must say. However, as you noticed, I have two hoses. And that is because of this. This is not the era of machine that had this poster boy with it. I think the VK136, this is the 135. Again, I don't fully know because there's just no information out there. I've only managed to piece it together from the few instruction manual scans and brochures that I have. Again, it's why the tools are a completely different shade of green. It was handy to try and piece the majority together, but yeah, they're all just a different shade. This has the electric hose and this shoulder strap to use, but we're not going to bother with that too much now. And yeah, again, I could have washed the hose and it's absolutely disgusting inside. Bit of a shame, but I tried to take it apart, you just can't. But you plug the poster boy in and it works. It rolls around. Oh, it's a bit rattly. But it is actually surprisingly nice to use, as clunky as it looks. I mean, it's no V11 mini turbo head, that's for sure. But there's two ways you can have the suction. Back, as it is now, has all the suction coming from here, for the brush roll. Push it forwards, and it channels it to there. Indeed, it makes the machine think it's blocked. But yeah, so and I've done the stairs with it. It's great because you can waft it around the stairs and then you put it forward and then you can do the edges. And it is really quite nice, although again, it doesn't go with this machine because it's a different colour. In fact, look, you can see it there. But because they all fit each other, it's why it's here, quite honestly, because it all fits its own thing. So, this is, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't think I've missed anything. No, this is completely empty. More than, because obviously we have the two hoses, and the straight suction, and the electric heads, a complete, full toolkit. We'll ignore that for now, we'll fix that later. For the Vorwerk VK135. But wait, there's more. Because as well as being a very faffy handheld vacuum cleaner, a very nice carpet vacuum cleaner, as we know, the Vorwerk can also dry carpet clean with their Kobo San, and happen to have a bag stashed in there. I've got bags everywhere because, as you know, my older Vorwerk came with a huge box of the stuff. So no shortage of this at all. And yeah, I think Vorwerk came first before Dyson copied the idea terribly with the DC04 Zorbster. And yes, I have a set of FK 350 brush inserts, which is this generation's, you know, the older one that I've got had the sponge rollers. This has these. And the idea is that you push your button there and lift up the flap, and you withdraw the carpet cleaning brushes. Then, with the ends, you push in these. However, this is amazing, they've changed the brush head fitting. Put these back in because it does not fit this EB351 with the front brushes at all. So it's why I alluded to earlier that I'm going to have to keep one of these around, or more likely I'm going to have to get rid of the two that I don't want and keep this one, because if we get our Billy Basic broken, the one that doesn't turn off, floor head out, take out its brushes, which are a lot stiffer than that one, we can see that they slot in absolutely perfectly. Yeah, they changed the whole century bit on here so that these brushes don't fit. Now, our Vorwerk is set up for dry carpet cleaning. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate that in this video. I'm going to do a whole other video because I want to clean this rug. So we're going to do now the coffee all over it, and who knows what else, eh, Mr. Bird? So stay tuned for another video on that. This is just the after look. But yeah, it only fits the older, or at least not the fancy head, which is a bit of a shame. But equally, they must have changed it. Don't know when they changed it. I do not know the difference between them, when they came in, where they go from, because there's just no information out there at all. But there is that. In fact, I probably shouldn't button that up too much. We'll stick to this head, because I also have a Lavinia kit. I have the Lavinia stuff, which comes with some Spazzole Matressi, which are the mattress brushes. The idea is that you have these, which are basically just rubber flaps, so beat, rather than brush and snag. So again, you take off your brushes and, there you go, red, and you fit these. These do fit this one, I have had them on, it's just the FKs that don't. We now have, in fact we can use this on the carpet, we could use those on the carpet as well. It's not going to brush very much, because obviously they're not brushes, but it certainly does beat the rugs. And yeah, this is for mattresses. I'm not going to clean my mattress on camera, but I have the kit to do it one day. It also comes with, there's a pamphlet for Kobo-san Intensive, and if I can find the English pages, it's basically just a giant advert, but that shows you how to do it. You give a normal vacuum, which seems a little bit odd, and then you sprinkle, it says Kobo-san actually, looking at that in my finder, but I've got 2 packets here, never actually opened them, probably should use one of them, but they are, time of filming this, actually almost exactly 11 years out of date, crikey, not 20, but yeah, they'll be fine. We have 2 packets of Lavinia, which is for mattress cleaning, and again, it doesn't really mention the special brushes, but yeah, you hoover, sprinkle it on, brush it in, it's saying, so maybe you do need to use the dry cleaning head. I find the English on there. Check the mattress's colour first, observe the best before date. Well, I'm not going to the effort of buying a fresh brand new pack of this just for that. Oh, in fact we have 2 copies of this, look, but they're different. I get very excited about differences. Not that there's any difference at all in this, enough to care. And then, rather amusingly, we have these stickers, which I presume you put on your mattress when you have Lavinia'd it, pop the date on, and then you know it's done. I do need to buy myself a new bed, and I think when I do, because my one is ghastly to be honest, under the mattress cover, it's been abused by the children too much, we might give it a clean, but I'm not going to do it today. We're going to put that in there like that for another time. But yeah, we have the Lavinia kit, and obviously goes with, I don't think it's fully for this, I think it's a generation or 2 different. There's certainly no dates on it at all to help me tell when it's from. These have a date of, I think I'm going to work that out to be 31/1997, but again, I'm no expert, and it doesn't really matter because they crossed over so flipping much that it could be literally anything. So in light of this, basically this head that doesn't turn off is spares. I'm going to get rid of it because I don't really want it. Hey, next. And I think I'm going to have to, if I want to be able to use the full range of everything, use this EB350, which the brush rod turns on and off, and these fit it. Sadly, this fancy head is just going to go into storage for, should I ever need it? But I'm probably not going to need it because in here we have the very nice hard floor tool. See what I meant earlier about there's just, I think, if anything, too many tools. They still do it now. I reckon the current Vorwerk Kobold machine is about £150 worth of vacuum cleaner and then £1,000 worth of tools. But that's not all. There is just one more thing. And that one more thing is I've got an entire pile of spares that came from these. As I said earlier, this is the machine from Mr. James, and I've only actually got one handle because I managed to break the pole that runs down the middle. Very annoying indeed. But it's not the end of the world, because this, if you remember, is the original one. Again, completely different in terms of looks. Where are we? There we go. Look, we have the Kobold logo. This one hails from 2007. This one from 2005, and this is the one that we fitted the DCO3 motor into, if you remember. So we don't have a bag, we have a very horrible filter because we used it without a filter because to try it out. I don't know what to do with it really. There's not any value in it at all. And then yeah, we've got a whole flipping duplicate of tools. So I have another set of these FK350s. These have been used, but there's a whole other set there which I suppose is nice to have. Don't need them. We'll put that back in its box like so. I have yet another set of Spazzole mattress Odis, although for a completely different head that I don't have. So you need the difference by getting these out. I think I've got a couple of these inserts for the newer style head. Because if you look, there's just every difference in the world with those, isn't there? These are the ones that fit this generation. He says, putting them back in the wrong box. Yeah, get over there. These fit the completely different head. Look, someone's even wrote mattress on the box. And then yeah, we've got, this is the same colour and the same set as the Polster Boy and the electric hose, but we have a whole load of other stuff. This is the FK350, again for a different era of tools. Brand new flipping ball brush. The original cable, if you remember, the bloke who I bought that off and cut the cable off when the motor burnt out, so we do have a cable. We have, and again, this one clicks, which I think it's supposed to, because each click is a lock, although it's still not that bad. But again, different colour. I wanted a colour matching set. We've got, yeah, that's one of that generation style. Please comment below with all the numbers that I don't know, with a brush in it. This one doesn't have it, and I think might be, oh no, that is the same. Yeah, FK360 they are. And brush roll. Another dusting brush, which is actually still not the right one. Maybe they did stop doing these with this era, which is why you get this one. I suppose that's an idea. Oh look, no, we do have a set of brushes there. Then we have this hard floor tool, which is quite nice actually. It's not quite as fancy as the other one. It doesn't rotate, but what it does do is flips over. So on this side we have felt for, I imagine, very delicate parquet, and this side we have brushes for not so delicate hard floors, and it's just not as nice as the tool. And again, I've got a brand new, I don't know if it's genuine, it might not be, but a brand new insert for this. The other, and this is why I actually peeled the gasket off of this one, which is why it hasn't stuck completely, of those. Another radiator brush. This was on that bag, but I don't think I need to care. And you shouldn't be in there at all. Yeah, I've got, this is what's left over. This is what didn't go into the actual keeper machine. So now that I'm filming this, I can finally offer it up to the wider world. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, and I am going to keep, in fact, hang on, let me go get the other stuff that I've got upstairs that also doesn't go in any of. There's not much left, don't worry, it's nearly over. But we have some adapters, yes. Put that aside for a second, and we'll clip the hose up so that we can demonstrate what we're wibbling on about. I have an adapter to turn this why didn't I pick up some 32mm tools when I was faffing around getting all this? Here's one, look, and a proper crevice tool, the nicer ones, when Dyson, no, Dyson tool, when they used to do tools. I have a 32mm adapter, it's not powered, but it is there. I then have this, which doesn't actually go with this at all. This is for the older one that I have, but it does convert it with power, I've actually just noticed after picking it up from its storage space. So you can use the new heads with the old machines, which is quite nice indeed. And then, actually this is not for this video, I shouldn't be showing you this, but I have a Vorwerk zip brush. Yes, it is literally the Vorwerk type of, he says, not getting it back in right, of the Kirby zip brush. Here is my G5 era Kirby zip brush. Pretty much, roughly, exactly the same. We'll have to get the old Vorwerk out one day and show those, and this can go with it as well. Again, it's that era, but it won't connect. But it doesn't go with this. It's nice to finally do an after video on such a humongous pile of stuff in order to finally put it all to bed. But we've done it nonetheless. Huzzah! And there we go, folks. One Vorwerk Kobold VK135, all done, refurbished, working as well as it ever has done and possibly ever will do. And yeah, it is nice to use, especially when most people would leave that at the bottom of the stairs, would probably never bother with those, and would just, we'll put that one away, pop the dry floor head on and just have it as a vacuum cleaner and use it for nothing else than a vacuum cleaner. After spending well over £1,000 on their machine, and you can't even, you sort of can roll it around, but you don't need to. In fact, got to tilt the camera up. There is a hook on it, so you can hang it up like so. And it's quite light when you don't bend your finger back. And yeah, most people would leave it at that. We are going to go one step further though. In possibly the next video, if I schedule it right, we are going to use our Vorwerk home cleaning system to give this rug a thorough going over with our old friend Kobo Sand Snow and those. But that's for another video. This one has gone on for far too long. So comment below, do you have a Vorwerk? If so, which model, and more importantly, how complete is it? Because again, going by the fact that we have parts that don't even fit this machine, people upgrade, tools get muddied. It's the big problem with Kirby. You always see guys with complete Kirby sets of tools on eBay, but none of the tools match each other. They're all from different sets. And sadly, Vorwerk suffers from it too. The only difference is Kirby is very well documented. You can go on to one of the many Kirby Facebook groups, and one of the very knowledgeable people will tell you exactly like what day your tool was made, what version of the cleaner it went with. Vorwerk, you might get lucky and find somebody that knows, but more often than not, there's no idea at all, especially in the UK, because obviously they were only ever an import. In the UK, they're not, they're more German and Italian, I think, than British. So I have to do these videos whilst not really knowing what I'm talking about, and wait for all you lovely people to make all your lovely comments and tell me exactly which bits I got right or wrong. So I shall await those lovely comments, and for now, so that's that. I and this will see you very soon for a dry cleaning carpet demonstration. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.